after an entertaining match between Ecuador and hosts Qatar, of course ending at 2-0. Now we bring you the live broadcast of the news, but remember you can continue watching the live sporting action live on KBC Channel 1, of course on free-to-air channels on your decoder. It's time for us now to dive right into what has been happening across the country in the world of news. Here are tonight's highlights. Pray for Kenya. President William Ruto asks members of the clergy. Alarming road carnage statistics. 3 people perish in Taita Taveta as NTSA confirms rise in fatalities. And the FIFA World Cup is here. World's biggest football extravaganza kicks off in Qatar. Baron Abuli is a sign language interpreter tonight. My name is John Jacob Kioria. Welcome to the broadcast. President William Ruto has asked members of the clergy to pray for Kenya to raise enough revenue to offset all its debt. Speaking at the Faith Evangelistic Ministry in Karen, Nairobi, President Ruto told the clergy that the country is in dire need of emancipation from excessive borrowing that has exponentially raised the debt ceiling.
President William Ruto is calling for divine intervention in efforts to unshackle the country from the curse of excessive borrowing. The head of state has called on the clergy to pray for the country to raise the much-needed revenue to offset the country's debt.
We need to move the percentage of our revenue from 14% to 25%. We are currently collecting only 2.1 trillion. I want you to pray for our nation.
President Ruto said the government is not meeting the revenue target, which currently stands at 4 trillion shillings.
Countries like ours, in the middle income category, they raise between 20 and 25% of their GDP in terms of revenue. But for us, we are at 14%.
The head of state has further rallied Kenyans to plant more trees to help fight drought and expand the country's forest cover. Meanwhile, President William Ruto has left the country for the Democratic Republic of Congo, where he is expected to hold bilateral talks with President Felix Tshisekedi on areas of mutual interest. The visit comes days after Kenya deployed its troops to the east of DRC to help fight rebels. On Monday next week, President will leave DRC for a 3-day official visit to the Republic of Korea for bilateral talks with President Yoon Suk-yeol. Ben Chumba, Sunday Express.
In the meantime, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has asked all Kenyans to support President William Ruto as he delivers on his election pledges to the nation. Gachagua says it was only through national unity that the country will realize development. He congratulated President William Ruto for reaching out to coast leaders who are affiliated to Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition in the spirit of advancing the Kenya Kwanza plan, which advocates for unity of Kenyans. He spoke on Sunday after attending a mass at the Mary Immaculate Catholic Church in Karatina, Nyeri County.
Pwani amekaribisha gavana wa Kilifi, amekaribisha gavana wa Mombasa, na mimi na rais tunaunganisha wa Kenya tukue kitu kimoja, ndio hii Kenya yetu iendelee mbele.
Sisi kama viongozi tuko nyuma ya naibu ya rais na nyuma ya rais ili kuweza kutupatia ile maendeleo yenye tunahitaji kama Jamhuri ya Kenya.
We are very many young parliamentarians. Tunakuomba kwa heshima, be our father, guide us, walk with us, mentor us, challenge us and correct us.
Let's focus on the raging debate around GMO. And Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party leader Raila Odinga has opposed the government's decision to import genetically modified maize, terming it catastrophic to the health of Kenyans. Raila accused the ruling Kenya Kwanza administration of serving the interests of foreign nations instead of supporting Kenya's research institutions to develop drought-resistant food crops. And as Gishuke Washira now reports, Raila is challenging the government to share with Kenyans scientific studies that have declared GMO maize fit for human consumption.
Following the announcement by Trade Cabinet Secretary Moses Kioria that the government will be importing 10 million bags of both non-GMO and GMO maize for the next 6 months to mitigate effects of drought and famine, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party leader Raila Odinga has come out to challenge the decision.
We ask Kenyans to oppose this move and to totally reject any GMO foods should they ever enter the Kenyan market.
Raila says introduction of GMO maize can eliminate native and natural crops and make Kenyans dependent on seeds and foods produced by GMO multinationals.
Manake ikipandwa katika shamba hii, ikimea, itaambukiza shamba yako ambayo iko kando ya hii shamba na shamba hizi zingine hapo. Kwa hivyo ikisaingia namna hii kuitoa sio rahisi.
Opposing the lifting of GMO ban, Raila now wants the government to invest in local research institutions to enhance food production. Gishuke Washira, Prime Edition.
To some sad story now, 3 people have been confirmed dead and scores of others injured after a school bus they were traveling in veered off the road, rolling several times in Wundanyi Mwatate Road, Taita Taveta County. 4 people were treated at Mwatate Sub-County Hospital and discharged, while 5 were treated and discharged from Moi County Referral Hospital in Voi, while 5 others are still admitted to the facility, and that's Voi County Referral Hospital, according to Taita Taveta County CEC for Health. Gifton Kaya, the principal of Memory High School, was seriously injured and has been transferred from Voi to Mombasa for specialized treatment. The bus belonging to Memon School in Mombasa was transporting teachers and members of staff from a funeral of a colleague in Kidaya area of Wundanyi. The exact number of people who were in the bus is yet to be established, with investigations on the cause of the accident underway. In a related story, Kenya has lost 4,103 people to road traffic accidents between January 1 and November 7-10 this year. According to the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, the number is highest than the 3,947 lives lost over the same period in 2021, indicating a 4% rise in the fatalities. And as Kenya joins the rest of the world to commemorate the World Day of Remembrance of Road Traffic Crash Victims, motorists have been urged to exercise caution on the roads, especially with the festive season fast approaching. Yusuf Farah with a report.
On Sunday, Kenya joined the rest of the world to commemorate the World Day of Remembrance of Road Traffic Crash Victims. The National Transport and Safety Authority kicking off the day with a walk from the City Hall to the Milimani Law Courts, the venue of the national celebrations.
We remember, my father, those victims, their dependents, their families, their relatives and friends.
Statistics from NTSA paint a grim picture of road carnage in the country, indicating a 4% rise in fatalities from 3,947 in 2021 to 4,103 this year.
Of concern in these statistics is the attribution of accidents to preventable factors, including non-usage of safety belts by commuters, driver behavior, such as speeding, that leads to loss of control in high occupancy vehicles, and poor mechanical condition of vehicles, resulting in brake failures and tire bursts.
We also need to strengthen our criminal prosecution action system, so that those who are here, that are those who up to now are still following for justice for what was
done or what caused the injuries or death of their families.
Redesigning the road network to reduce accidents related to infrastructure and training boda riders as fast respondents at accident scenes are some of the immediate interventions the government is considering.
Allocate the funds to road safety related interventions during design and operation of our road transport system, and promote use of non-motorized transport NMT network by ensuring that appropriate NMT facilities are designed and provided during the construction of road network.
Lakini watu wangu wa pikipiki na wanduthi, hii ni watu wetu, mtafuata sheria. Mambo ya kwenda anti-clockwise roundabout, mwache.
NTSA chairperson Agnes Odhiambo said going forward their authority will be reaching out to various government agencies and stakeholder review various legal instruments to address the emerging issues in road safety management.
We are developing a road safety curriculum for school children in collaboration with the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. We are also improving driver training and licensing through the implementation of the traffic driving schools, instructors and licenses rules for 2020.
High Court Judge Justice Richard Mungo, who represented the Chief Justice, said the judiciary will fast-track the cases so that victims can get timely justice.
To ensure that no court case should take more than 3 years on trial and 1 year on appeal. With this benchmark, we are certain we'll be able to deliver expeditious justice to Kenyans, including victims of road accidents.
Some of the road accident victims present call on motorists to be more careful on the highways where fatal accidents are common.
When I was involved in a crash, I was well belted. I was seated at the back, middle. Our driver was observing speed, well licensed, vehicle in proper condition. But a driver who was in a hurry to overtake a truck came to the wrong side, speeding, and like they say, the rest is history.
You see, people, they don't give ambulance way, and that is charged to NTSA and Kenya Police and Judiciary also. We need to have proper fines for these guys, because when we got into my mind coming up, I ran out of the blood, the IV, so everything was running out, so I could see why, so I could hold my breath.
The clarion call remained personal and collective responsibility on the roads, especially as the country heads towards the festive season, which records a high number of road carnages. Yusufar reporting for Sunday Express.
Grim statistics there coming from the National Transport and Safety Authority in terms of how careful you need to be on the road, of course, as we approach the festive season. Quite a dull start for the World Cup tournament, and of course Qatar falling at the hands of Ecuador, and indeed this sporting action is covered live here on KBC Channel 1, indeed if you're watching on a free-to-air decoder. Time for us to take a breather. When you come back, we've more news lined up for you. Don't go too far.
There are days when you think, oh, leo na deserve, so order a Glovo. Days when plans inachelewa. What if you order a Glovo? Or days when you can't control everything. Or yes, because on Glovo you can order anything you want. Glovo, you order, we get it.
The legends and familiar charms will grace KBC once again.
Kombe la ulimwengu liko KBC na warai wa Kenya wote tukutane KBC kwa sababu kombe la ulimwengu Qatar 2022 lipo hapa KBC.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sunday Express. Now, a vacate notice has been issued to tenants living in a 6-story building in Ruiru, Kiambu County after it developed cracks. The 45-minute evacuation notice issued by the county government also affected buildings surrounding the affected building. Kiambu and Nairobi counties are on high alert over building safety following the collapse of 2 buildings in Kasarani and Ruaka.
Confusion and panic as tenants rush out of a 6-story building in Ruiru, Kiambu County. The building has developed cracks, prompting the county government to order tenants to vacate on short notice.
Nyufa ambazo zimekuwa zikizibwa kila wakati ambapo zimekuwa zikitokea, lakini kufikia leo kuna zile columns ambazo ziliweza kupasuka na wakazi wakaona bila shaka ikiendelea na maana hiyo itaanguka, na ndio maana waliweza kutoa report.
The building, which is believed to have close to 200 occupants, developed huge cracks on the ground and second floors, raising alarm among the tenants.
Niliamka asubuhi kama kawaida, nikajitayarisha, nikaamka kwenda kanisani, na nikaenda kanisani. Baada ya kwenda kanisani, after kumaliza kitu saa 7 hivi, nikapata nimetafutwa sana na watu wengi kwa simu. So nikataka kujua ni nini watu wamenitafuta hivyo, ndio nikaenda nikapiga simu ya kwanza, nikaambiwa nyumba yenye unaishi siku ya leo na saa hizi inabomoka.
Witnesses say it started sinking from one side with some doors and windows experiencing difficulties in opening.
Ukienda kutafuta nyumba ama ukienda kwa upangaji wa nyumba ni ya kwamba lazima ulipe deposit. Na already hao watu walikuwa wamelipa deposit, hata mwisho haijafika. Sasa umeambiwa utoke nyumba, ndio ngava anaambia watu utoke nyumba, uende ukatafuta nyumba nyingine, lazima utalipa deposit, lazima utalipa hii mwezi na hata haijaisha. Kwa hivyo mimi ningeomba mwenye nyumba tafadhali, kwa hisani yako uangalie wenye ambao walikuwa wanaishi kwa hii nyumba aweze kuwarejeshea deposit yao ili waweze kwenda kutafuta nyumba.
Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi arrived at the scene and ordered an emergency evacuation of tenants and those living in adjacent buildings.
Toka sasa nataka pia kuendelea mbele niwaambie wana Kiambu na watu wote wawekezaji ambao wanataka kuja hapa kujenga mijengo yote. Tunakaribisha wote. Tunasema sisi tunawapenda wawekezaji. Lakini kutoka sasa kuendelea mbele lazima sheria zote za mijengo zifuatwe na tutahakikisha kwamba inafanyika.
Kiambu and Nairobi counties are on a high alert following collapse of 2 buildings in just 3 days. For Prime Edition, I'm Zainab Said.
Senate Speaker Emerson Jeffer Kingi now says the Senate will ensure complete devolution of functions and resources even as it pushes for transparency and accountability from county governments. In a speech delivered on his behalf by nominated Senator Veronica Maina, Speaker Kingi also held the role of a judiciary in protecting devolution through the issuance of interpretations that protect the Senate.
The Center for Corporate Governance held a consultative forum involving the Senate and county assemblies to review 10 years of devolution. Senate Speaker Emerson Kingi, in a speech read by nominated Senator Veronica Maina, recognized the milestones achieved by the previous 2 Senates despite supremacy battles with the National Assembly.
Senate remains committed to the ideals and the principles of corporate governance, and will continue to support counties to ensure that what they have promised to Kenyans will be delivered in a manner that is transparent and accountable to the people of Kenya, who are the real employers of the senators and the real employers of the county government.
Kisumu Senator Professor Tom Ojienda, in his address delivered by his personal assistant, Dr. Simon Peter, noted counties are yet to embrace principles underpinning good corporate governance practices such as transparency, accountability, fairness, independence, and sustainability.
I will endeavor to unpack the influence of the principles of corporate governance in the performance of county governments in Kenya. My interest is to highlight the bottlenecks in effective service delivery to Kenyans, resource allocation within the counties, and the effect of political environment on the performance of the county.
The forum, spearheaded by Center for Corporate Governance, a training institution, brings together corporate governance practitioners, both in private and public sectors, for enhanced and sustainable socio-economic development.
And as the World Children's Day is being celebrated, various stakeholders are calling on both levels of government to support creative talents displayed by minors. Details of this and other stories in our County News Roundup.
Speaking at Tendere and Bomachogi Chacha constituency in Kisii County during the celebrations to mark World Children's Day, Catherine Kimuntu, the founder of Global Talent, noted that the majority of children, especially in rural areas, lack exposure to nurture their creative talents. This year's theme is equality and inclusion for every child.
It keeps them busy during holidays and weekends, and this has helped children to get out of things that can affect their behavior.
Kids who are in problems like early pregnancies and drug use, because all these things come because of idleness.
Meanwhile, clergy, parents and learners of Ngata School in Narok County engaged in a tree planting exercise to celebrate First Lady Rachel Ruto's 54th birthday. The exercise was led by Reverend David Kisoto of Redeemed Gospel Church in Narok, who also prayed for all the candidates sitting for their final examinations this year.
Nauliza pia mchukue hata kama mtachukua eka moja, lakini at least miti kama 1,000 either mpande kwa shule ama msaidie watu mahali watapanda, mpatie wanafunzi kama shule, na itakuwa baraka.
Wakati wa mwisho Yesu ukikawia sana waishi maisha marefu.
Also in Embu County, more than 40 pastors were ordained at the Redeemed Gospel Church in Runyenjes. The clerics committed to ensure the church plays its rightful role in guarding society.
You are the prophet of the hour. Jeremiah is not there. Moses is not there. Paul is not there. Malachi is not there. Who is there is you.
Finally, a group of 35 African Americans arrived in the country on Sunday with the sole mission of tracing their ancestral roots. Kia Williamson, who is the coordinator of the trip, said in addition to tracing their ancestral background, the 35 foreigners also plan to explore investment opportunities in Kenya.
Significance again is just connecting the dots between African Americans and Africans. Being here in Kenya right now is literally connecting that dot and making us family. Often we think about Africa, but we don't have the chance to go, and so this is the great opportunity for us to learn the culture and fellowship with you all as we are descendants of Africa.
Kupata Waibrania kama sikiza tuni yako, bonyeza *811 *817 #.
Yesu Kristo ni yule yule, jana, leo na hata milele. Wahibrania 13:8.
Kupata Waibrania, bonyeza *811 *817 *811 *817 #.
Something very special and something very new. The good news from KBC is the World Cup. If you want to watch all the things, me I tell you, you don't have to pay a dime for you to watch them. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana, Mr. Iggy Rafton mwenyewe. Niko hapa kuambia mazee, station ile noma. Mazee, I need tena uko na pesa. Unajua macha ukienda maklabu, ukienda huku nje unaambiwa mazee una pay at the entrance. Ama kuna decoder mpaka ulipie bana. Hapa mimi nakwambia tumekulipia in the universe. Unacheki ball sare. Ile budget nitaka uko nayo ya popcorn na wadaso bana. Otherwise station number 1 Eastern Central Africa, KBC TV, me I tell you, it's gonna be a water radar HD TV. Ukitaka kama team kama Senegal, Tunisia, Cameroon, Mzeia unazichekia hapa. Ukitaka za Europe pia unajua buda. Mimi naenda na gani? Brazil kama kawa, KBC radar swaf.
Let's do sports now. Of course, you know by now that World Cup Eco KBC focusing on the action today. Ecuador handed Qatar a disappointing start to the World Cup finals after beating the hosts 2-0 in Group A, opener of the 29-day World Soccer Showpiece being held across 8 stadiums in Qatar. The opening match was played at Al Bayt Stadium, Doha. The matches are being broadcast live by KBC Channel 1, available on Signet.
The 2022 World Cup kicked off with a visually striking opening ceremony at Al Bayt Stadium. American actor Morgan Freeman featured in the festivities alongside Qatari YouTuber Ghanim Al Muftah. The 30-minute ceremony ended with a fireworks display and another dance routine before the Qatar and Ecuador teams took to the pitch for the opener. Ecuador did break the deadlock in the 16th minute through a penalty when the match finally kicked off. Qatari's erratic goalkeeper Saeed Al-Shib brought Ena Valencia down in the box, and the ex-West Ham forward stepped up to convert the spot kick. It got worse for the hosts as Valencia powered in another header before halftime to leave the Al Bayt Stadium silenced at the break. Many supporters who had left the stadium at the interval did not return, leaving the ground around half empty for much of the second period. Ecuador held on to bag the maximum points ahead of their Group A matches against Holland and Senegal. Meanwhile, the tournament enters match day 2 on Monday, with Senegal taking on Holland from 7 p.m. East African time. Follow the action live on KBC Channel 1.
And what Qatar does is probably break the record. There's not a host who's been beaten during the opening match. Even did you're a host, but indeed Qatar goes down, breaking that history for the first time. Now, former National Rugby 15's team head coach Paul Odera has attributed a lack of adequate preparation to the dismal showing at the just concluded Rugby World Cup rip change in Dubai. Kenya lost to Hong Kong, USA, and Portugal to blow up its chances of participating in the World Cup finals set for France in 2023. Odera, who announced his resignation over the weekend and admitted that despite Kenya having played in the Currie Cup, which was crucial to the first round preparations, the rip change plan were not well coordinated, hence the performances in Dubai.
The Currie Cup really helped us build well, but the problem is once we completed the Currie Cup, we were pretty broke, and then for 3 or 4 months we did nothing. as we're waiting to go to the repechage. So I think that can be attributed to, well, just a lack of financing on our part. A lot of reflection to be done. I've said it on many occasions. A national team is just not the net impact of it's not the net impact of just the coach. It's a club system, players from the grassroots, our pathways, and how we develop a lot of our systems. We need a strong secretariat, because with a strong secretariat then you can get the right systems in place. But right now you still have a lot of board members who are chosen through a very difficult system of elections, who feel that they want to have a direct influence on teams, and the net impact is that the teams don't perform well.
And of course, my apologies, that should be the Rugby World Cup repechage. Reigning world 800 meters record holder David Rudisha was among renowned sportsmen and women from Kenya and Ireland who took part in the inaugural All-Star Gaelic Games held at RFUEA grounds in Nairobi. The event saw the sportsmen and women take part in different sporting disciplines, including football, hurling, and rugby.
Speaking during the event, the organizer, Warrior for Humanity, Alan Kerris, pointed out that Self-Help Africa is in a campaign in support to combat climate change and raise funds to plant 1 million trees in Africa. Kerris pointed out that this being the first edition, top players from Ireland and Kenya have contributed 10,000 euros each to fund the initiative.
And we're here in Kenya on a very historic trip. This is the first ever inter-county game in Kenya and in Africa, where we've sports stars, well-known famous sports stars from all over Ireland, every county here playing our traditional games, football and hurling. And we're going to have an amazing time. It's history. It's a very historic trip. We've male and female players as well from the 4 codes: hurling, football, ladies football and Gaelic football. So the players are going to leave a huge legacy behind in terms of environment and climate change, but also for years to come, hundreds of thousands of families will hopefully live off these trees, because when the trees will be planted, they will be planted in communities and with families. They will own these trees and they will be trained, educated, and also given technical support to link that to their livelihood.
His words were echoed by the country director Miriam Cherogoni, who said the tree planting campaign will run in Elgeyo Marakwet and Baringo counties, linking up with sports as a way of reconnecting and creating sustainable life in the environment.
To cover this country, this is just you can see it is just 2 counties that we are focusing on. So really, to do tree planting in this country, it will require massive investment. Our effort is on development. Obviously, there's a lot of linkages that we can do with sports, and this is the first time that we are linking up with sports. And given the feedback that we have received, I think it is a good way to fundraise and also to excite people, linking sports to the environment.
The event saw different athletes, including David Rudisha, Ollie Lawrence, and other foreign athletes take part in different sporting disciplines, including football, hurling and rugby.
To be part of the team today was really a great opportunity. I must say that this is almost the first time they are playing this game here in Kenya, and I'm the first Kenyan to play on the ground, and I scored 1 goal at least, and I don't know if I played along the rules. To all of us as Kenyan, if we can have a team from Ireland coming all the way to Kenya to plant the trees, that tells us also we should take that initiative seriously, and we should start planting even more trees every year, and we should have a target that we should, so that we can see that we handle this climate change, because it's becoming a big issue and it's affecting a lot of people.
It was a fantastic experience. Like, we never thought that we'd be playing football in Kenya, bringing GAA to Kenya. So to be the first players to take part and to play with David Rudisha, it's been absolutely amazing. The pitch is in great condition. There's a great crowd, and just there's loads of excitement. And as David said, it was just so much fun. It's all about fun, and sports about enjoyment and being healthy and fit and kind of bringing people together, and I think it's done that really well.
For Channel 1 Sports, I'm Kioria.
Kenya Commercial Bank humbled Kenya Police 1-0 in the FKF Premier League Round 1 action played Sunday at the Kasarani Annex, Nairobi. KCB's Michael Oduor scored the lone goal in the 43rd minute to give the Bankers maximum points. Meanwhile, Talanta FC was held to a 2-2 draw by Kariobangi Sharks. Bidco United registered a 2-0 win over Nairobi City Stars. At the Mbaraki grounds, host Bandari beat Sofapaka 2-1.
Hapo mwisho ile focus yetu ikakuja ikapotea na ndio wakapata hiyo bao dakika 2 hivi after time. So naweza sema tu ni ile tulikuja tuka switch off. Lakini ukiangalia kipindi cha pili vijana wangu wamekuja wakajituma na ni ile unapata KCB kidogo pale kwa defense walikuwa wanaweza sema wako strong na ilikuwa ni vigumu sana kupenya hapo. Then nikajaribu kama bado dakika 15 kuongeza maybe ataka mwingine lakini haikufua dafu.
Mechi imekuwa ngumu, haikuwa game rahisi kuchukulia kwamba ni mechi yetu ya kwanza since tumalize last season, so imekuwa ni ushindi ambao tumekuwa tukitafuta kwa mazoezi na haijakuwa rahisi.
Coast-based youngster Fidel Wasike carded 45 stable 4 points to emerge the overall winner of the Kenya Ports Authority Corporate Golf Tournament that closed its curtain after the fourth and final circuit of the tourney played at the Per 71 Nyali Golf and Country Club course in Mombasa County. A total of 252 golfers from the home club and across the country attended the 18 holes stable 4 tournament.
The 15-year-old Wasike of Mombasa Braeburn International School, playing over handicap 27, carded 45 stable 4 points to claim his second title this year after the recent 2022 Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers tournament played at the same venue.
My teammates helped me through, and they encouraged me, and that's what I believe won me the tournament.
Michael Karaoke, playing over handicap 23, was the main winner on 43 points, while handicap 9, Migdad Walji, was the runner-up on a count-back score of 42 points after tying on the same points with third-place handicap 26, Dr. Atul Shah. The lady winner was handicap 26, Jane Gidhere, with a score of 41 points, beating handicap 17, Christine Okoch, to the runner-up slot with a 2 points difference. Ijaz Sheikh, playing of handicap 24, brought 41 points to win the senior prize, while Alicia Jamal scooped the junior prize after carding 36 points. The staff prize was won by handicap 20, Jafeth Obonyo, with 44 points, while handicap 15, Terry Odo, settled for the runner-up slot with 38 points, and Emmanuel Wambua, playing of handicap 13, carded a count-bar score of 37 points to win the guest prize. 252 golfers from the home club and across the country attended the 18-hole stable 4 tournament.
That effectively puts a cap on Sunday Express tonight. Just a reminder that World Cup Eco KBC, indeed, we're broadcasting 28 matches on TV and 64 matches on radio. But to be clear, that it's only the KBC channel 1 that shows on Signet that you will be getting these live matches. Equally, those of you who expect us to probably show the tournament on YouTube, it is not possible. It is not within the rules governing football. It's not possible to have that match live on YouTube. So it will be live on KBC Channel 1 under Signet, and you can catch all the action because tomorrow Senegal play Netherlands. That's the match we'll be showing you at exactly 7 p.m. My name is John Jacob Kioria. Have yourself a fantastic week. See you around. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Baron Abudi.